saying it again is not going to make me get that answer. Okay? This came.
We're eating Malams. And we're stuck in traffic, which means we might be late. And that's not our fault, by the way.
It's this person's fault. They're broken down.
They're broken down, aren't they? Anyway, while we're going down here, I tried to swallow a big bit then. Way too much.
We're putting the world to rights, I think.
Putting the world to rights, talking farming, social media, all that kind of thing. And we've just got through the traffic, which is brilliant. But I thought we'd ask Becca how you started your career, like how you started in farming. You're from a farming background, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. So I actually, I've got a twin sister with a 5th generation at home from Yorkshire. Best place, obviously. But I went away from the farm, which not everybody does that, do they? But for me, best thing.
I did that.
Yeah. Did you go to uni?
I went to uni, yeah. And then I went on a graduate scheme, so I thought, if you go to uni, you don't go back to the farm. You need to be on a graduate scheme. You need to do this. You don't, by the way. But
I think that's actually such a good point, because my undergrad was like nothing farming whatsoever. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed the party lifestyle, you could say. But I thought that I had to be in London after it. I thought I need to go to London, everyone goes to London, and thank goodness I just thought, do you know what? I had a bit of a turning point. I'm gonna go to Cirencester and do land management and get back into farming.
What was that like? A master's or something?
Yeah. So I actually went to Cambridge before, but I always say, if I ever speak to anyone, I'm like, I have not come across basically anybody who went to Cambridge and then Ciren. Like, who does that? They are poles apart. But anyway, did a couple of jobs and then came back to the farm about 18 months ago or something. Planning for it maybe only to be 6 months whilst my dad wasn't very well. 18 months later, I'm still there. And yeah, I think I'll be a farmer forever now.
Enjoying it?
Do you know what? It's hard sometimes because I live there, I work there. I sometimes fall out with my mum and dad.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. We all know the pains of that.
But I think I'm lucky to have come back at, I think I would have been 26. And to start learning at 26, I'm lucky. Sometimes, people are 40, 50 before they have the chance to go back to the farm.
Yeah. So, I think I must have been like 23 or 4 or something. Yeah, I just like working so I worked in a car rental company on their graduate scheme, and it was nice, it was fun at first, but then I just thought, I'm doing all these hours and I'm not enjoying it. Like, I enjoy being on a tractor more, I enjoy being my own boss, and
I think that's a good
awesome
point.
About farming.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, because I think if I'd stayed in the job I was in before, I might have worked my way up, be earning quite a good amount of money, but I just know I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much as I enjoy what I do now. But we're lucky saying that, because we've got a farm at home. Whereas imagine if you're coming in and you have to say, well, I quite enjoy the job of farming, I don't really earn much money, and it's not like I'm working towards my family business. So if I wasn't coming back to the farm, I don't think I would have come back. I genuinely don't know. As much as I absolutely love farming now, and was brought up doing it, if I didn't have that, I don't think I'd have come back at all.
Yeah, because the money's not really in the industry, is it?
No, not at all. And there's so many more jobs which you can get which have normal hours. You're not outside in the hammering down rain and not dealing with cows ripping water pipes off, flooding your sheds.
Stressing me out. But then again, like, there's lots of other jobs that have stressful situations in them.
I mean, most jobs where you have to deal with people, because I just would rather deal with sheep than people. Well, not every day, actually. Some days people would be easier.
So how did you get started with, like, doing your social media side of stuff then?
Right, so I
You want the blue again? I think we've got half a bag of these.
Yeah,
very nice.
My teeth actually hurt.
Sponsored by Mauer.
Yeah, give us some for our next road trip. Actually, don't, because I don't think I'll ever eat them again after this. Yeah, the social media stuff. So I became an NFU student and young farmer ambassador. Bit of a mouthful, but actually just quite a good program for meeting people kind of your own age, from different farms, different parts of agriculture.
So how young was a young ambassador?
So I was 27 when I was on it. I've just finished my year.
Yeah.
I think you have to be 20. It's like young farmers' age. So it's like 28 and under, isn't it now?
All right. Cool.
So I thought they're going to want us as young people to use young people's platforms like Instagram to push their messages. So
Makes sense.
So I did have an Instagram account, but I had about 200 followers, and they wouldn't have even known what the NFU stood for. Like nothing. And I had a couple of like random photos of me like forced holding a glass of champagne, being like, oh, you know, I'm having a really great time. And I just posted one day. It was a picture of me holding a lamb. I think I was actually wearing this shirt.
We've watched it.
And I just posted and I said I'd become an ambassador. I was hoping to share stuff about farming, and it just went from there. And I thought, there's jobs that I'm doing which I think are very everyday jobs, and it's like your YouTube as well. We do these things every day, but people are really interested to see them, and it just took off from there. And I try and post most days. Sometimes it's really steady jobs, sometimes it's stuff with the livestock, sometimes on the arable side.
Like farming's like an industry where maybe like 70 or 80 years ago a lot of people knew a bit about it, but like it just seems to be like this closed off industry now that nobody really knew about until people started posting stuff on social media, like this is what I'm doing with my lambs today, like this is what
yeah, and that's so true, because sorry, I've got an hour. That's so true, because even if your parents weren't farmers, your probably grandparents would be, or your uncle, or your auntie. And so, when you visited family, they were connected to farming, but we're generations off that now. So most people, they won't have living generations who were in farming.
I can't remember what like the percentage is now that's a farmer in the UK, but it's like so low, isn't it? Like I'd love to get this figure. If I get this figure, I'll put it in like a thing that probably won't have time to do it. But somebody will let you just know in the comments, I'm sure.
It's wagging there.
Yeah, I just had to slow down a little bit then.
But yeah, I think I have quite a mix of followers. I would say mainly farming, but I definitely get loads of messages from people who didn't know anything about, I don't know, why we tail lambs, or how we want lambs to be born, or why you use that to lamb a sheep or whatever.
But there's a lot of people in farming, like I don't know nothing about sheep and lambs, so like, you know, I know the stuff about cattle and a bit about arable farming and stuff like that, but like sheep, we did have some when we were younger. I think we had like 4 or 5, and I'm sure we called them all like Disney characters or something, and then couldn't understand.
Never name them.
Oh yeah, and they all started going missing, and it was just that they'd magically died or something had happened like that. Yeah, my dad was taking them to Selby Market.
Do you know
out
what?
like 10, 12 years later.
We had when Rosie and I were little, so that's my sister, we decided, so this is kind of like talking with pet lambs, we decided that we wanted to be vegetarian. I think quite a few people in our class were vegetarian, and
so
it was being talked about. Yeah. So we came home from school one day and said we're being vegetarian. And my mum's argument was basically, well, if you want pet lambs, you're going to have to eat meat. And that was all we needed. I don't know if we made the connection, the fact that pet lambs did turn into meat.
Yeah.
But the only reason
we're having them.
Yeah. Which I think is actually a really good lesson to learn when you're younger, that, you know, they do have an end purpose.
And this meat comes from this.
Yeah. But it was all about looking after them in the build-up. I'm not going to lie, we had these pet lambs on leads, we made them coats, like they lived the life.
I remember we was talking about, it's not lambs, but we had a chicken. We were called Rocky, and he used to sit on your shoulder.
No way!
Yeah, proper cool.
A cockerel?
Yeah.
You see, I'm not going to lie, I'm not a fan of cockerels. I just get vicious vibes from them. And I've got one at the moment, and well, obviously they're not allowed outside, are they, at the moment? No. But I'm worried for the day I'll go into the hut and it decides it's coming for me, because I don't think I've got a chance. Although I want to sell it when when bird lockdown's over, so I better not be saying that. Be like, he is lovely. He is a
Just
dream.
needs a caring home. I used to have geese. Have you got any geese?
No, aren't they hideous?
Oh, they bit me as a kid. And
Did
it's
they?
Like, yeah. I've got a good bite on them, a goose, I'll tell you that. Like razor sharp.
Don't they, oh no, maybe that's swans. You know when it's like, oh yeah, they could break your arm with their wing. Is that swans?
Yeah, people say that about swans, don't they?
Maybe geese would do it.
Maybe
as well.
geese would as well. Big
I think they're quite vicious geese.
Has anybody had the arm broken by a goose?
If somebody actually has, I'll be, because I just feel like you get told that, don't you?
Yeah.
Stay away.
Yeah, break your arm. So how many people have gone into A&E this year with broken arm
With
fight?
goose or sworn injuries. Funny
You're
enough,
not going to believe this, but I am that person.
they probably don't have a statistic for that actually.
But no, it's we used to have geese, but we've not got any more. So we're just like literally just cattle, which is a bit like, I think that destroys a lot of people's ideas of farming sometimes, because everyone that I speak to when I say I'm a farmer, like, oh, have you got any chickens? Have you got any sheep? Have you got any pigs? It's like, no. Oh, cows.
I think that's the thing though, because it's like that, the image that's portrayed is, oh, you have a couple of sheep, a couple of pigs, a couple of cows, and a couple of fields of wheat or whatever. But realistically, not every farm can have that many different sectors to it. You have your idea of mixed farms, you might have sheep and arable, or beef and sheep, or beef, whatever, but hardly anybody has a bit of everything anymore. It's not,
I think it's like, before maybe social media came along, when I was younger, if you wanted to learn about farms, it'd be in a textbook or something like that, or what you saw on TV, which is like Country File, or like if you went to a city farm kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like city farms have everything, don't they? Because that's like the attraction of it. So then everybody gets this idea that everybody has a meerkat,
a camel, an ostrich.
Yeah.
I actually went to a city farm, Surrey Docks in London, and talking of city farms, really interesting. So got off the bus, and the first thing I could smell was basically mucking out in this massive built-up area right on the river. So it was crazy, but they were doing a really good job because they did have a couple of bits of everything. But also, unlike some other city farms, and I understand there's reasons why you can't always do this, but some of their animals did go off for meat. So the children who were coming, and adults as well, who were coming to that farm could make that connection that these animals, at some point, some of them would be going for meat. And I thought that was really interesting. And I think sometimes as farmers we think, yeah, but it was only a couple of lambs going off, like that's not realistic. But for people who haven't been exposed to being on a farm, that's all they need to get that concept of, food production. We think, oh well, if you only have a few sheep, well that's not proper. But actually, their perceptions, they don't need to see 1,000 sheep where you're selling thousands of lambs. A couple gets the idea across. So I think we sometimes maybe have the wrong expectations of what we need to help people learn about and show. That was actually on the NFU thing, that London trip to that city farm.
Were you ambassador thing?
Yeah, ambassador thing. You don't get me to London very often. And obviously if there was a farm involved, that's about the only time you'll get me into London.
Last time I went to London was from a blankety blank thing.
Oh yes.
So try and forget it.
Yeah, blank that out. Blank that out. Last time I went to London, don't know what that's for. I went to Twickenham, but that doesn't count. Like that's not proper London, is it?
I've never been to Twickenham.
Oh, it was really good. It was England South Africa in the autumn internationals, and we drew in the end. Literally, in the first 30 seconds, I said, "Well, we may as well just go home now." We looked like we were going to be hammered. Then a massive turnaround. It felt like a win. I was on an absolute high at the end. Absolute high. Did not venture out in London though. Don't know if I'm quite equipped for a London night out. Yeah.
I wouldn't know where to go. Like,
no.
It's that vast, isn't it? It's like.
I'd find myself somewhere I shouldn't be probably.
I think after our blankety blank thing, we just went somewhere near the train station, like a pub.
Yeah.
And then
played it safe.
Yeah, played it safe, came back.
How did you get into that blankety blank thing?
So I'd started with TikTok. I was doing my TikTok.
Yeah.
And then I have it quite like there was no real way to contact me, and I think they tried to contact me through Facebook, but it like went to a message request or whatever.
Yeah.
They're not seeing it, and then they contacted my wife. And then,
She's like, I'm not your PA.
Yeah. So like Becky got this got this message saying, can you get Joe to, you know, if he's interested, like get in contact with us. So I did, and yeah, did a little Zoom chat or whatever, and then got on it.
Right, you're gonna. I get that it's like a game show.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie. And
No, I didn't know what it was.
Okay, good.
Yeah, don't worry. I didn't know what it was. It's like they'll say something and it'll have a blank in it, and then like the celebrities all put the blank into the sentence, like work out what word it should be.
Like, give me an example. Put you on the spot now.
Oh god, you are putting me on the spot, aren't you? So mine one was if there's a jockey and he's scared of heights, instead of riding at blank. No, hang on a minute. Yeah, he's scared of height. Instead of riding a horse, he rides at blank. So a jockey is scared of heights. Instead of riding a horse, he rides a blank.
Not a clue.
Not
a clue.
You've not got a clue?
No.
So he's a jockey, he's scared of heights, and instead of riding a horse, he rides something else.
Look, saying it again is not going to make me get that answer, okay? This Cambridge education might have taught me how to write an essay. Blankety blank, no chance. No chance. Not a clue.
You've not got a clue?
No.
Nothing, you wouldn't know it, but
no.
You wouldn't even have, just, no, it's not like, it isn't an answer, it's like, there's many answers that you could put in.
Hold on, so how do you know what's right?
It's just what other people have said. So like there's a panel of like, I think there was like 9 celebrities or something, and they, might have been less.
Like Family Fortunes?
Yeah.
In terms of when they score it,
But
don't
it's
they?
literally just the celebrities, so like there'll be like 6 or 9, I can't remember how many it was. They at the end put the cards up, and then if you know three people have got it, same as you.
So there's no right answer?
No.
Well, there is, but there isn't as such.
Yeah.
A bike.
Okay. Well, you did as bad as me then. I said I said giraffe, right? Because I'd just got like height in my mind.
Yeah.
And but you know, blank to blank, just blank, and they were like hamster, donkey, dog, cat. You know, like small things, because obviously he's scared of heights.
Because I was thinking, if you're scared of the height of a horse, but you're still riding something, you're riding a bike.
Yeah. But nobody said that, to be honest. It was all animals.
So what was the winning animal?
It'd have probably been like, I think hamster was a good one, donkey I think was one, and like dog and cat, quite popular.
I think my mind was on the wrong wavelength for that, actually.
Yeah, mine too. Like, I think everybody watched it, like probably had an idea in their head, and then were just like, what has Joe just said?
Of all things, that would have been about.
And when Bradley like looked at me as if to say like, what the hell? I thought, oh, dummy neck, I've spelt giraffe wrong.
Wasn't the fact that you said giraffe?
No.
Has it got 2 R's or 1 R?
It's like, oh damn, I'm dyslexic. How have I spelled this? Like, Jesus. But yeah, no, it was fun, and it was just one of them things where I thought, well, I might not ever get like opportunity to do something like this, like go on TV, and like, will I regret doing it? Like, nah, just
You've got nothing to lose, have you?
Nah. So just yeah, it was just a bit of fun.
If you were going on a game show, what would you choose?
What to go on?
Yeah.
Something with no skill or knowledge required. Something like Takeshi's Castle or something like that. That one where they do like a assault course or something.
I was going to say you should do is it Total Wipeout?
Yeah, Total Wipeout. Yeah.
Go on those like ball things and you just get absolutely
falling
like
water or whatever. Yeah. I'd do that one. How about you? University Challenge.
Oh god, no. Right. Well, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know where the people learn that stuff. Like, you know, that's neat. Who knows that? Well, they do, but I literally can't answer a question on there.
Yeah, like
not a question.
some kind of like ancient Greek
Yes, some like Latin name for some plant which only exists in 1 square mile of the UK. Like, I don't know the Latin name for that actually. Sorry.
But then again, like people are in, like we're laughing at like that interest. Like some people
They'll laugh at us.
They'll laugh at like farmers. Like, God, can you imagine? Like, I just love sheep and that. Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's so true. Actually, that is true.
Really weird. Right, we're gonna break off anyway and get down to this AHDB thing. So thanks for chatting with us, Becca.
Yeah, no worries.
All right, and yeah, make sure you. Well, if this goes out today, which I'm not sure if it will or not, but make sure you check out the AHDB live, which is happening tomorrow at night.
Yeah.
We're all on it. Business. Thanks, guys.